For most of us, gone are the days of the office water cooler and connecting with people as we walked to and from meetings. This used to be the most common way you would get to know each other more personally. But what about all those teams that don't have that space and are now in a virtual setting? Hello again, my name is Chad, Yellow Umbrella Coaching and Consulting, and today we are looking at how you can get teams to get to know one another in a virtual setting. One unique problem I have encountered as a manager after 2020 was that there was a shift from in-person to either remote or hybrid teams for most people. Being on a team that was in person and now is more virtual meant that you have an interesting dynamic. Some folks have relationships that they developed across years of working in person, while a new person on the team may have never met anybody that they work with in person. As such, I create specific opportunities to help teams get to know one another. My first way, through specific activities. I know, you have to be very careful with activities on your team. I see the TikToks and I see the reels that poke fun at the office culture where you have team building activities. And yes, if you don't have a healthy culture or buy-in, this can go extremely poorly. But in a virtual environment, we have to be more intentional. I gave my team an activity during a team meeting. They would each be paired up with someone on the team that they don't work with much, and they were given 15 minutes to get together, come up with 5 to 10 examples of things that they have in common. And then, to add a little bit of fun, they had to come up with a little team name for the two of them. When I told them, the team, about the activity, I did hear a couple of groans, and understandably so. But when they came back from the activity, there was such great energy. There were new inside jokes between team members that had never really talked previously. They came up with some really amazing things that they had in common. Again, not everyone will participate at the same level in general, but everyone participated meaningfully by the end. We also use Microsoft Teams chat. Now, our Teams chat is mostly the chat where team members go to talk to each other or get help with something, use each other as resources. However, it's also a place where the team can selectively and on their own comfort and timeline have a little fun from time to time. I have a deck of conversation cards that I sift through and find questions that work, and then I take a picture of that question and post it. Sometimes only one person responds, sometimes a handful, sometimes the card takes on a whole new life of its own and spins the conversation throughout the entire day as the team covers different fun topics. While I'm careful not to make the team's chat too distracting, and I acknowledge that at times I'm sure I fail and I have some team members that are annoyed, but in general, it's become a space where they can bounce in when they have a few minutes, read through, add their own contribution if they choose. Find what works for your team, but this is a great way to include your introverted team members and allows all others to just kind of participate however they feel comfortable. And finally, you have to yourself be a connector. As the leader of everyone on the team, I have the best view of who on the team might best work together, who shares the same interests, who is going through something similar in their personal life. I use that information to connect people in meaningful ways. Hey, I didn't know that you had an interest in AI. Did you know that Ashley has been working hard on new AI projects in her personal time? You should check in with her on that. Or, hey, your son has an urgent surgery tomorrow. You have an urgent deadline. You know, I was just talking to Devante, and he said that he finished his project early. Maybe you could ask him for some help with your work. Have you touched base with him yet? They don't see each other like you see them. They need your help forming strong connections with one another. I never force it, but I always provide the opportunity if people are willing to help their team culture flourish. Thanks again for spending a couple minutes with me, and please don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.